So it's King's Day in Spain soon. So we don't want to move, we're on a nice site, we've only booked in for 2 days, so we're going to try and book in for a bit longer, but what's up with the receptionist, love?
He's a bit grumpy.
He's very, very grumpy, so let's see how we get on. So I used to have an adage which served me well, 12 hours between throttle and bottle, but all of a sudden everyone seems to be an expert in the metabolism of alcohol. Now there are lots of reasons breathalyzers aren't the end all and be all. First of all, you're not sure about the calibration. Secondly, alcohol's one of the few drugs that gets excreted out by the breath. But before it does that, it's got to go first past the liver. And it's actually called first past the liver. And it takes about an hour. So getting a breathalyzer reading is a bit like taking a photograph of one of them bullet trains. You know what you see in Japan? You get a fantastic snapshot, but it is just that. It's a snapshot. It doesn't tell you which way it's going. So, in theory, I could sit here now, neck 4 pints, blow in the breathalyzer, and it'd be 0. So in that case, I'd be going up. Conversely, I could fail a roadside breath test. By the time I get to an evidential machine at the station, I would have passed, and in that case, I'm going down. You're never quite sure where you're up to. So there is one thing that's certain. If you drive around the continent for long enough, you're going to get a tug, you're going to get a pull. Because France, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, Portugal, they're pretty good on the random stops. I've been pulled over a few times, and you will get breathalyzed. And if you do get pulled, here's a tip. Now in England, they have these people called auditors, and they go round and they film the coppers and they say things like, I know my rights and all this rubbish. Don't try that over, it won't get you very far. So if you get pulled over, be helpful, be polite, do as you're told. If they ask for your driving licence, show them your driving licence. If they tell you to put your dog in a harness, put your dog in a harness and then drive off. Now, Portugal has a sort of stepwise approach to drink driving. It's quite interesting, really. So, if you've just passed your test or you've driven a PSV, you drive a PSV, then the limit is actually quite low, the threshold for prosecution. If you've got so much in your body, I think it's between 0.3 and 0.5 grams per litre breath alcohol, then it's sort of classed as a misdemeanour, and you get a £250 fine and 3 penalty points, and that's about it. And it doesn't really get criminal until you've got 1.2 grams per litre in your breath, which, you know, is quite a few pints. And there's a little bit of mid-ground in the middle. I'm not condoning having a drink when you're driving. There's so many variables. What I'd suggest is, if you're going to have a drink, just don't drive. If you're going to get leathered, don't drive the next day. We've been pretty good. We did have a little bit of an outbreak in Benidorm, and we had to spend a day extra on the campsite.
An outbreak or a breakout?
A breakout. We had a breakout, not an outbreak, in Benidorm. But that's the rules. You've got to do it in Benidorm. But we're back on the shandies, and shandies abroad are quite interesting. They make them out of like Fanta lemon and Sprite and stuff, and they actually taste really, really well, really good. So yeah, that's the message, guys. Don't rely on all this technology. I don't think. I think there'll be a lot of false positives and a lot of false negatives. Just don't have a drink and drive. If you, like I say, if you're going to get leathered, don't drive the next day. It's as simple as that. We're all booked in, aren't we, love? Look at that for a piece of kit. Gets even better. Look at this. Look at this bugger. Ford Fiesta. So we're just out in town now. And we're looking for something traditional to settle our tummy. Like chips, curry, pie and peas. There's no chips and curry there. Let's have a look. What have they got? It all looks pretty good. Dorada. Beautiful. Grilled codfish. It's like the staple of Portugal. It's absolutely minging. So places like this, they don't really have a menu. You just have a fridge. You just pick what you want. And that looks pretty fresh. So booked in. Hang on. Turn around.
Still keeps where you put
I'm showing people the island there.
Right. It's not on.
Okay. I'm going to be staying here for another
3 nights. 4 nights.
4 nights.
Yeah.